Hi everyone, this is JK Jax, and this will be the first ever video that I post on this channel. This channel is for high quality content, and today we're going to be teaching you how to play the opening in this game of chess. Now, if y'all know the rules of chess, but you just want to get better at the game and you are a beginner, then this video is for you. Okay, you know the rules of chess. It's good that you know how to master them. So let's get started. First of all, before we start, I want to teach you a concept. It's called spacing. So regardless of which side you play, white or black, you control one half of the board. So this is how many squares that is white's territory, and this is the amount of squares that is black's territory. Okay, so the goal of the opening is not the main objective, but it's good for beginners, right? And it's to control the amount of squares on the opponent's side. That is what is called spacing. You control space. So for example, on this square, this bishop only controls 2 squares on the opponent's territory. Don't count these squares, alright? These squares, don't forget, they're in your territory, so it's not really opponent's territory. This is opponent's territory. But if you develop it out, now it sees more squares on the opponent's territory, and that is why in the opening people develop their pieces. This is a great way. Okay, and of course you don't always have to follow these principles, but it's good that you do it and develop a habit in the early stages so that your fundamentals will be quite solid. That is enough for spacing. So instead, alright, of you playing towards the side of the board, which is quite bad. Why would you want to play the side of the board? You only control 1 square on the opponent's territory, but that's not all. Your bishops can't get out in the early stages of the game. That's why it's better for you to just, with the first principle of the opening, take control of the center. Center, what is the center? E4, D4, D5, E5. These are, okay, these are just coordinates, right? So these alphabets you see down here, these are called ranks, and the numbers are called, the alphabets are called files, and the numbers are called ranks. Alright, so what would you want to do is chuck a pawn in the center. This is the first principle of chess. First principle. E4, right off the bat, you control 2 squares on the opponent's territory, and your bishops can come out, even your queen if you want to. But this is a forbidden rule of chess where you don't develop the queen out so early. You would want to get your minor pieces developed before you develop your queen. Some openings allow you to develop your queen early, alright? But that will be for future videos when I teach you guys actual openings. But right now, we're teaching you what are the fundamentals of openings. So with E4, opponent plays towards the side of the board. And as you can see, you already have an advantage. You control 2 squares as opposed to 1, and the opponent's bishops can't even come out. And now, if they play something funny, just take control of the center of the board. Full control. Everything. Look at this. 4 squares as opposed to 1. And if the opponent continues, opponent only controls 2. You control 4. And with an added benefit, both bishops can come out and activate and see more squares on the opponent's side of the board. This is the first principle of chess, which is to control the center. What is the second principle then? The second principle is to develop the knights. Why knights before bishops? Sometimes you can develop the bishops, but it will be towards a different opening. This one you study yourself, where you can sometimes develop the bishop if that's your playstyle, and if you studied that particular opening. But that's for a future video. Right now, let's stick with the developing the knights. Of course, knight does 2 things. Prepares castling, so now you only need to move the bishop before you castle, and also controls 2 very important central squares. It fortifies the center and also controls some of opponent's territory, alright, e5 and g5, and then d4 is just to protect the pawn, you know, add a second protector. And if the opponent tries to develop now, for example, like a move like c6, because of our overwhelming central control, the opponent finds it hard to actually develop itself. And guess what? The best square for the knight right now is to undevelop itself. That's why controlling the center is super important. And with your opponents, and if your opponents never know how to play chess, like they don't know, they're like, they don't even know the rules, okay, they never know chess, they never started chess before, and you're looking to destroy them, then yeah, look at this, you already know some terminologies of chess, you already know how to play, you know, you already know how to get an advantage over to those that have never played chess before. But of course, this is like 1 in a million, right? You came to this video to get better at chess. You came here to get better at destroying your friends who already know how to play chess. And this is just the first part, alright? So, let's go with g6 then. What happens if opponent still plays towards the side of the board? Get your last knight out. Second principle of chess. Sometimes you can break the second principle of chess and develop the bishop first and prepare for casting. That's up to you, honestly. But knight c3, okay, and that's the second principle of chess done. The third principle of chess is where you finally develop the bishops. So for example, they still play towards the side of the board. Now this is where you can get these pieces out, okay, and at some point in time, now look at this advantage, right? Look at how many squares you control on the opponent's side of the board. Look at the amount of squares, bro. Like, let me just highlight all of the squares so you can see how dangerous it is. Okay, let me just wait, let me just color them all. Wait, no, pause. Yeah. This is the amount of squares you control on the opponent's territory. It's a lot. It's a massive amount. And that's why it's important for you to develop your pieces. But we need to go to, oops, that's not the thing. But of course, we need to go to the final stage, right? And that is the fourth principle of chess, castling. So this is where you can finally castle. And this is one of the main objectives in chess too, and that is to keep your king safe. Of course, you need to have some common sense. Where are the pieces? Where are the opponent's pieces attacking? But we'll cover this in the middle games course. So yeah, your opening is done. You've gotten your pieces out, your minor pieces are developed, you've controlled the center, and yeah, this is how you play the opening. So thank you for watching this video. If you want more content like this, consider subscribing, please smash like, and also stay tuned for middle game calls. I hope to see you guys in the next video.